I've got a voicemail for you today that I suspect I will have viewers and listeners who will not like this voicemail. And it is a caller speaking some difficult truths to a sliver or a slice of the left. Let's take a listen to it.
Progressive media is really risking jumping the shark right now. They're covering stories like the George Bush story, and they seem to not understand that people who do wrong things in the past can occasionally still be correct in statements they make. And they're also covering this story with Joe Biden saying that we told you so, Bernie Sanders would beat the president. No, he wouldn't. Bernie Sanders couldn't even win the Democratic nomination, and it wasn't the DNC's fault this time. The people did not like Bernie Sanders. They liked Joe Biden.
Yeah. Okay. So let's deal with that second issue first. I've already discussed the Bernie Biden thing. You know, to assume that Bernie obviously would defeat Trump in November, but Biden won't, ignores essentially all of the facts that we have, including that Bernie lost the Democratic primary by millions of votes, and that number may climb as more primaries are done via mail-in ballot. I don't think we need to address that again. On the issue of the Bush story, what the caller is referring to is that over the weekend, George W. Bush put out a 3-minute video where he says, the coronavirus is serious. It's not the time for partisanship. We need to come together, etc. It's a completely reasonable and accurate message. It doesn't mean Bush was right to go into Iraq. It doesn't mean Bush was right with the torture. It doesn't mean anything about Bush other than he was right about that, and he's more sensible than Trump on this issue. And I covered this yesterday, and I had already been getting attacked on Twitter for it over the weekend, and I got attacked again for rehabilitating the reputation of a war criminal, et cetera, et cetera. And what I've realized, I've had sort of an epiphany over the last 10 days, and I'm going to tell you what it is right now. We've got a couple minutes here before we wrap the show, so I'll tell you what it is. I always tended to just do the show the way I want to do it and do the stories I want to do and so on and so forth. But every once in a while, a little bit of calculation would enter in where I might say, I need to moderate my language here or there or whatever, because I risk getting a certain reaction from my audience, which I would seek to avoid. I'm not really paying any more attention to that because no matter what I do, that backlash is going to exist. And case in point, yesterday, I literally said during my segment about, hey, George W. Bush was right about this one thing, right? This should not be a partisan thing. The coronavirus, we've got to come together. Trump is wrong on it. I said twice in the segment, Bush is a war criminal. I called the statement a completely unremarkable milquetoast statement. And yet it still shows us how whacked Donald Trump is on this and every other issue, that he can't even put out a normal statement one time, which George W. Bush was able to do. Didn't matter. Didn't called him a war criminal twice in the segment. And people are saying, David, you are ignoring the fact that this guy's a war criminal and rehabilitating his image. I called him a war criminal twice during the segment. So what I've clearly realized is when people say, David, you should cover this or you shouldn't cover that, or here's the position you have to, it actually doesn't matter. If people have determined that I'm the enemy, if they want to be mad at me, they're going to be regardless of what I say, if I cover a story, if I don't cover it or whatever. So if you see any change in the show over the next couple of weeks, other than the fact that we've extended the show an additional 10%, every day the show is longer now, which is beautiful. It's a fantastic thing. You will see that I will be paying I was paying 8% attention before, call it, to what I expected the reactions to be to how I take on issues. That's going down to 0. Some people will like it, some people will not. But alas, such is life. We've got a great bonus show for you today. Become a member at joinpakman.com. Do not miss today's bonus show. It will be a particularly good one.